This fountain smells like the log flume ride at Camp Snoopy. Does that mean anything to anybody? We are here at Plaza de España in Seville. I've actually been here before, several years ago, and last time I was here there was not a concert happening. This morning I was like, I'll go to Plaza de España, it's so pretty, get some nice video. No, I mean, it's still pretty. There were too many people on that bridge for me to take a selfie, so I'll just put in the selfie that I took a couple years ago on that bridge. There was no stage then either, so it'll look better. But there's more here than just the plaza. There's also a huge, expansive park, which I think we're just gonna wander around in right now. First things first, I'm gonna put on some bug spray because, oh my God, mosquitoes love me. Now, I don't have a drone. Even if I did, I doubt that they would be cool with me flying a drone here, but let's just say I did so I could get an aerial view of the Plaza de España. The quantitative variable I'm interested in measuring is how far do people walk before they stop to take their first selfie. Because there's this phenomenon that happens with tourism where if one person stops to take a picture, everyone's gonna stop in the same spot. Sometimes they don't even know why they're stopping. So if that's our quantitative variable, we could have values anywhere from 0 to, let's call it 100 meters, just for the sake of simplicity. Let's say our data set looks like this. There are 5 numbers in particular that are gonna help us visualize this data set. They're specific 5 numbers, we call them the 5 number summary. Those 5 numbers are the minimum, quartile 1, the median, quartile 3, and the maximum. We've already learned about these numbers, so now we're just kind of putting it all together. So let's say here's the minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum. These 5 numbers split up the data set into kind of 4 sections. And each section is 25% of the data set. Now we can take this 5 number summary and turn it into a graph. Basically, you draw a line at each of those 5 numbers, the minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum. Connect Q1, median, and Q3 with a box, and then draw a line connecting the minimum and a line connecting the maximum. This is called a box plot. The box that we drew in the middle is showing us the middle 50% of the data set. Now, there are some really extreme people in this data set. Data points that are super extreme are called outliers. They don't fit the pattern. They're very different than everyone else. There's sort of an arbitrary rule for figuring out where the outliers are. And I say arbitrary, somebody came up with this. I don't know who came up with it, some guy, some dude probably. So what you do is you take Q3 minus Q1, and that gives you the inner quartile range. It's the distance from Q1 to Q3. Take that number, multiply it by 1.5, then you're gonna do 2 things with that number. You're gonna add it on to Q3, and you're gonna subtract it from Q1. What you're gonna end up with is sort of cutoffs. Anything above this and below this counts as an outlier. So in this scenario, we have 1 outlier way over here. This person barely walked 2 steps before they decided to take a selfie. There's no one above the cutoff up here, so no outliers on the top. Oh my God, there's babies. Now when you're making a box plot, an outlier is going to show up as a dot or a star or like something different. So this guy over here, we're going to turn him into a dot, and then we're going to move this line that was at the minimum up to the next data point. Now, a couple things. This dude at the beginning is still the minimum. He's still the smallest value. Okay, it doesn't change his status as wanted to take a selfie immediately. But he's also an outlier, and when we're looking at the box plot, we don't want it to look like there's a ton of people down here at the bottom, so even though technically he's the minimum, we're going to redraw the minimum line up a little bit. Now, if you draw a box plot to scale, it can tell you a lot about a distribution. And I say that it has to be drawn to scale, because if you just draw a box plot like this, and then label the numbers, minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum, it doesn't really tell you anything. Like, you sort of just drew a picture next to some numbers. If it's to scale, you can see where there are clusters of people. Like, these two values right here are super close together. 25% of people are packed into this little area. So I can tell that that was a really popular spot to stop. Whereas from here to here is really spread out. So there's a bit more variety in that 25% of the data. So those are the important takeaways from a box plot. You can quickly tell where the outliers are because they show up as dots or stars or something different. And you can also see where a data set is a little more packed together. And if you're in Seville, you should come to Plaza de España, especially if you like selfies. You're gonna love it here if you like selfies. If you like walking into other people's selfies, then you're really gonna like it here.